The nation's chief says government has made significant strides in turning the economy, and the opening of the Baha project will be another step in the right direction. Good evening, everyone. I'm Charisma Robinson.
And good Wednesday evening, Bahamas. I'm Altavis Munnings. It's great to see you tonight. The Prime Minister wrapping up his last budget debate for this term in office, focusing on the accomplishments of the Christie administration, and he talked about the Baha project, setting the record straight following opposition claims. Janae Noel Ferguson leads us off from the House of Assembly tonight.
Prime Minister Perry Christie revealing in Parliament that headway will soon be made in relation to completion of the stalled Baha property. He says he wants to keep the sale and completion of the project separate as negotiations continued. He revealed bidders have been shortlisted, noting that the original investor, Sarkis Ismailian, is not one of them, although the government attempted to agitate on his behalf.
Two firms have been shortlisted, Mr. Speaker. One of them have a Bahamian investor connection, Mr. Speaker, but two firms have been. Mr. Ismailian, Mr. Speaker, has not subjected himself to in all the talks we have had. He has indicated, Mr. Speaker, that he thought he ought to have been treated differently, Mr. Speaker. It is a matter for the receivers, managers, it's a matter for the provisional liquidators, it does not matter. The governor of the Bahamas, Mr. Speaker, and to the last possible moment, under my signature, wrote a letter to China indicating Mr. Ismailian's interests.
Prime Minister refuted claims that the government had any personal relations with any Chinese interest group and warned those who held any prejudice against the Chinese.
That one of the largest investors in Bahamas is Hutchison Whampoa in Grand Bahama, the owner of the container port. Make fun of him. Hubert Ingram did the right thing, you know, Mr. Speaker. It was his government that abandoned recognition of the Taiwanese and brought the Chinese government, the People's Republic of China, to the Bahamas as the Chinese representative in our country. And they talking about us.
And as it relates to the heads of agreement, Mr. Christie said that will be tabled by the minister responsible for investments. Now, he tabled two documents from foreign consultants who gave their opinion on the Chapter 11 Baha bankruptcy findings, which the Fort Charlotte MP took issue with.
That those opinions were paid for by the government of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And the correspondence were dated June the 20th, as indicated by the Prime Minister, and not at the time that this matter was actually in full bloom. So we have no way of knowing whether or not this was a rushed and panicked effort.
All I asked them for, I don't want to show their correspondence, is to sum up for the purposes of me, Mr. Speaker, putting into public domain what their advice to me was over these issues. That's all. To show the Bahamian people what guided me in the decisions we made. No more, no less.
Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.